In the previous lesson, we installed several new themes. They were all free, open source, and external themes. External only means that they were not pre-packaged with Drupal core. The most common worry at this point will be, will my site look cookie cutter or run of the mill? There is no need to worry because you can personalize and customize your theme at multiple levels without having a graphical expertise. This will be the focus of our lesson, and I will talk about each level one by one. Beyond that, if you have access to graphical coding, then the sky is the limit to your customizations. Starting with the level 1, if you are required to be using your organizations or your customers' own corporate branding, like the logo, the fav icon, product images, standardized static pages, personal details, this will be your very first point of personalization. Almost always, this will be created by a technical team and will be standardized across all corporate digital assets. And this will be your first step for you to incorporate into your Drupal website. You have seen in earlier lessons how to add the logo, slogan, favicon, and the static pages. So I will not repeat them now. Level 2. Go to the Appearance admin menu page, and there is a Settings tab. Open it, and this is the central and important location for all YCWig personalization that you can do firsthand without any coding. YCWig means what you see is what you get, basically visually changing the customization aspects. Look at only these global settings now. This is Drupal's theme settings and it is generic. These first two options are whether the user's profile picture is displayed in posts and comments. Next is whether verification status is shown in comments. Basically, if the user has verified their email correctly, a small tick is shown next to their names. And the next option, shortcut icon, this label is ambiguous. It actually decides if a fav icon is used on your site or not. This is a vestige from earlier versions that has remained back when it was even an option. Just leave it as it is. This next two sections for logo image and for fav icon, I have shown how they work in earlier lessons several times and I will not repeat now. If you remove this checkbox, you can upload an image basically. And why exactly this page is called as global settings, you will understand in just a minute. Let's move on to our level 3 of customization. Every theme can and will provide some basic form of WYSIWYG customization at least. So every theme in the system will get a tab for itself on this page. You can see them all here. What those settings are and how they are implemented is entirely up to the theme implementer, and it is not standardized. So that is a common theme selection criteria for you. Let's see some examples one by one, starting with Bartik. Bartik is pretty good with customization. It offers some pre-designed color sets, a couple of which we have seen earlier. You can even customize individual colors either with the HTML code or you can visually pick colors. There is an excellent live preview that you can see here. And then if you scroll down at the bottom, there is a repeat of the same Drupal settings for the page element display, for logo image and for favicon. Actually, these settings will repeat for every theme. And so now you understand why earlier they were called as global settings. These are repeated from the Drupal into every theme. These theme settings will override Drupal's global settings. This arrangement is especially useful when you have multiple themes on your site and you change them occasionally. For example, during festive seasons or for some specific customer promotions, etc. You want to change the theme for a very specific date period, then you can use these to override the global settings. That's why it's used. Next one, 7, is an admin theme that comes up pre-packaged with Drupal. So I'm just going to skip that. There are not many options here. It has no extra customizations. Next is Zircon, is the theme that we have currently activated. And this also has zero extra customizations. I would have actually preferred if it had allowed me to customize at least a few things. So this is how customization becomes a selection criteria. If being able to customize is important to me, I will probably not use this theme on my production site. Next up is this Nexus theme. Again, you can see Drupal settings repeated here, and below that, it has a custom section titled Nexus settings. This is again theme specific. If you remember, this theme had a nice slider, and this is where you can customize it. You can add a headline, description, and a URL for every specific slide. And there are 3 slide options pre-built. Once again, this theme also offers no WYSIWYG color customization like Bartik. By now, you will be wondering, but what if I really like a theme and it does not provide WYSIWYG color changes or some other customization? And that leads us to level 4 of our customization discussion. This is where we are in luck with open source projects. The complete source code is available to you. If you know what you are doing, you can edit the appropriate CSS, JavaScript, YAML files and create exactly what you want. There are several best practices to doing that, and you shouldn't just jump into the code purely for maintainability and security purposes. The one best practice you have to absolutely remember if you want to explore in this direction is to create a sub theme and not customize the original. All of this will be out of scope for this particular course. Let me mention that there are hundreds of economical paid themes, also known as premium themes. They are also open source, meaning code will be given to you, but you have to pay for the theme. And it will usually include a few extra customizations from the developer depending on how you negotiate. And with that, I will conclude this lesson. You learned about 4 levels of personalization and customization that is possible with Drupal themes, starting with the very simple and standardized changes, going through theme specific options, and ending with code level changes. Using these techniques judiciously, you will be able to create an absolutely unique, great looking professional web application. In the next lesson, I will talk about some extra tips, tricks, and pitfalls as applicable to themes. See you in the next lesson.